Well, I'm joined now by Ali Abughanima in Amman. He is an author and a Palestinian-American journalist. It's good to have you on the program. Are we close to a pain threshold for either side? I mean, what has to happen that both sides say enough is enough?
Well, we can't talk about both sides as if they're equal. The side that is in control here is the occupier, Israel, which has immensely more power than the Palestinians and which thought that it could carry out its ethnic cleansing plan in Jerusalem, raid Al-Aqsa Mosque and attack worshippers during Ramadan prayers, and that everyone would sit silent. I think it was a great miscalculation by Israel to think that Palestinian resistance factions would allow Israel to escalate its assault on Jerusalem without having a response. So Israel decided to launch this bloodshed, and Israel can decide to end it. But it's not just Israel, because let's remember that Israel, a nuclear power, bombing people in refugee camps with F-16s and advanced weapons, is supported and armed by the so-called international community, including the United States and Germany. So Germany, too, which is funding this broadcaster, needs to play its role by ending its support for Israel's regime of apartheid, occupation, and settler colonialism. And it was shocking to see the statement from the German government giving tacit support to this Israeli aggression against Palestinians in Jerusalem and in the Gaza Strip.
Well, I think we have to also say, in all fairness, the German government, the European Union are large funders as well to the Palestinian people, so not only to Israel. I know that in your books you trace the history.
They don't supply weapons. They don't supply weapons to the Palestinian people. The German government supplies weapons to the Palestinian people with which to commit horrific war crimes, and the German government recently denied the obvious fact, which was confirmed even by Human Rights Watch, that Israel is an apartheid regime. And I think it is time for the people of Germany and German elites to stop making Palestinian children in the Gaza Strip pay for the crimes of the German people against European Jews. Palestinians are sick of paying the price for guilty German consciences. So the bloodshed, the blood that is dripping in Gaza and indeed in Israel now is not just on the hands of those firing rockets or dropping bombs, but it is also on the hands of the German government that arms this apartheid occupation regime. Well, the German government.
What would you like to see?
Bystand.
What would you like to see? What would you like to see coming from Germany and the European Union?
I would like to see Germany and the European Union
yes.
stop arming an apartheid regime, stop supporting Israeli aggression, enforce international law. By the way, the international laws that Israel is in violation of are the laws which were established after the Nazi genocide in Europe. So we would like to see the laws.
But that's not going to answer the question. That doesn't answer the question, though. What needs to happen now to stop the conflict that's happening right now? That was my question to you. What would you like to see?
What needs to happen right now is that the European Union and the German government need to make clear to their friends in Israel that they will be held accountable in the International Criminal Court for their war crimes, which didn't start yesterday. They've been continuing for decades against the Palestinian people. Settler colonialism, settlement construction, expulsions, massive attacks on Gaza. And all we have been hearing from Germany and the European Union is empty statements saying both sides must call for restraint. But when you're arming one side, you're not a bystander, you are participants. So we want the German-backed Israeli aggression and occupation against Palestinians.
You've made your point, Mr. Ali. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Mr. Ali Abughanima, we appreciate your time and your insights tonight, joining us tonight from Amman, Jordan. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.